And welcome back, everyone, to Between Bells. I'm Baker Brachano, New York. One comedian spreading the word of love all through laughs. Anya Zova is touring her comedy show, Make Laughs Not War. The Ukrainian, Russian, American comedian worked hard to create this show, featuring a diverse lineup of comedians, all with a portion of ticket sales benefiting victims of the war in Ukraine. Joining us now to discuss is Anya Zova, stand-up comedian, actress, and producer. Anya, such a pleasure to have you here. Thanks so much for joining us. So tell us a little bit more about what audiences can expect here.
Well, hi, Baker. It's such a pleasure to be here. I'm excited to see you and to see all of you guys. Well, Make Laughs Not War is my show that I produce with Barry Katz, fantastic producer. So this show is for Ukraine, to support Ukraine and promote peace. It's basically my baby, this project. I'm Russian Ukrainian. My mom is Ukrainian. My father is Russian. So for me, it's very important to deliver the message to people that we're all human beings, and war is not a solution to any conflict, especially invasion. It's not even a war. What to expect? Expect a bunch of laughter, joy. I have international lineup of comedians. We're doing Punchline Philadelphia on May 26th. I have Ukrainian comedian Katerina Shev, very young, very talented. I have American comedian Blake Barty. He's a former military guy. And myself, I'm headlining. Yeah, you should expect good time, laughter, and awareness. We are bringing awareness to the world.
Absolutely. And by the way, you held the first Make Laughs Not War, show at the Comedy Store in LA, which I love the Comedy Store. It's one of my favorite venues out there. When did you decide you wanted to take this on the road? What made you decide you wanted to do that?
Well, first of all, my first choice of naming the show was Make Love, Not War. And the first flyer I did was like Make Love with the heart. And then I'm like, no, we're making love. So you said it correctly, actually. Well, it was always my dream to work at the Comedy Store and to do shows there, perform and produce. And when the conflict started to happen, and I'm like, okay, this is a time to do something. I need to help. I need to, first of all, we collected money. We collected 100% from ticket sales, went to charity, Global Empowerment Mission that supports victims of war in Ukraine. And I was like, okay, I need to do something. And I reached out to the manager and they said, yes, we love the idea. Let's do it. And we oversold out the room. It was amazing, amazing show, super successful. Each comic killed. It was not necessarily material about the war, but we had some kind of relationship to the war and our opinions. And it was fantastic. And after that, I was like, okay, I have to take it on the road. Actually, my business partner, Barry Katz, he was like, okay, you need to take it on the road. You need to tour. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Well, we know Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, comedian, actor. You know, do you almost feel like it's easier as a comedian to sort of make fun of authoritarianism or talk about sort of, really sad, depressing conflict of things that are happening right now, like in Ukraine?
A great question. And I think it is because Mr. Zelensky, he's been doing comedy for what, almost 20 years? And it is kind of give you freedom. Once you're on stage, you have this freedom to express yourself through comedy, through humor. Yes, of course, nowadays people are sensitive, but still you kind of train this muscle inside of you to be free to speak up. And I do believe the Ukrainian nation nowadays holds on because of Zelensky, because he has humor and charisma. Even in a horrible situation when people are dying, he still finds a way to encourage people. And he's sarcastic. Sometimes you watch him and like, wow, he's been funny in the circumstances of war. And this is inspiring. And he inspired me to do the tour.
Oh, man, that's amazing. And by the way, everybody loves Zelensky. He is just such an incredible individual. Now, what's so interesting looking back at your history, I mean, your mom is Ukrainian. Correct me if I'm wrong. Your mom's Ukrainian. Your dad is
Correct.
Russian. What was their sort of response to you wanting to do this tour, but also speaking out so heavily about Ukraine here?
Well, my father, yes, he's Russian, but he's against Putin regime from day one. So I grew up in the atmosphere of freedom. My parents always encouraged me to express myself and to be free without any restrictions. So when I just told him I'm going to tour, and my father got concerned, he's like, well, you might not be able ever go back to Russia. He's like, you understand, if you go back to Russia, it's like 15 years in jail and you might lose your citizenship. And I do understand it might happen, but I also understand that somehow right now I have this huge opportunities that I cannot take for granted, and I can inspire people and I can deliver the message to the audience and to the masses. And if I can deliver the message to the Russian people, because they are brainwashed, there's a regime, there is a propaganda. So if I can help anyway, even if it's going to cost me like troubles, not being able to travel back to Russia, it's fine, but I want to do what I'm doing, and I feel like it's worth it.
Do you almost feel also this is therapy? Because a lot of comedians, you know, this is their form of therapy, sort of going through all the things and the emotions that they're going through. So almost recounting and talking about this stuff, does it help you in that way?
Absolutely. You're so right. You should be a comedian.
I should be. I know.
Oh, okay, hit me up. I'm going to put you on my show. It is therapeutic, and I remember like even like being released from WWE, I was injured, and somehow I turned these traumatic experiences into comedy. And once you hear people laughing, you're like, oh wow, my trauma caused something good. People actually laughing with me. And the same with the war. Once you show people that we all actually victims of one man ego, Putin's ego. And once you point it out at it through humor, people kind of opening their eyes and they're laughing, and there's always truth in joke. In Russia, we have a saying, it's like 90% truth in each joke. So yes, you kind of put this seed of the truth in people's mind, at least my truth, you know, and yeah, hopefully it helps. And it is therapeutic.
And what do you want people to maybe get out of this? Do you want them to kind of leave with a different perspective of what maybe the conflict is like, or maybe your life is like? What do you want them maybe to leave with?
As a comedian, I always want people to see the world the way I see it, through my life, through my experiences, through my eyes. And I have a very specific point of view that I would like to share with people. And sometimes people come up to me on this show, so I'm like, Anya, we didn't see it this way, but once you point it out, it kind of makes sense. And I always make fun of myself and the way I think and the way sometimes I find myself in a very unpleasant situations, but I find a way to make fun of it. So I want people to have fun. I want people to have a good time, and I want them to understand that war is not a solution to any problem, and we are human beings. We live in 2022, we survived pandemics, so it's time for us to love each other and to have peace.
Amen. So well said. I can't wait to see this. This looks incredible. Anya Zova, such a pleasure to meet you, stand-up comedian, actress, and producer. For tickets to the Make Laughs Not War tour, visit AnyaZova.com.